What's up guys, Herberderp here, giving you guys a tactics video for free-for-all. Now this might be a one-parter or a two-parter depending on how long this takes, and I'm going to show you cool, not necessarily jump spots, but places that are secret that not many know, and just cool places to go to where you want to, snipe and roll. I would have had this video earlier. I'm re-recording it because I had the formatting set wrong, so sorry about that guys. Now first off, I wanted to tell you guys a class that's really good for this map. But if you prefer sniping, stick to sniping. If not, this is a really good class to try out. It's better than the ACR class that I have set up for this map. So what you're going to want is the G36C with extended mags or red dot. You can use whatever kind of sight you want on the red dot. It doesn't matter to me. I like to use the last one. If you can't have it as a, two attachments on this weapon, stick with the red dot just because the iron sights aren't that great, and it will really help you out on identifying the enemy. Your secondaries are going to be akimbo scorpions. Now the reason why I choose the scorpions is because they are one shot less than the FMG9's akimbo, and these are a lower fire rate, which can give you a chance to control the akimbo. If you want to go to FMG9s you can, but I prefer scorpions just because it's a lot more powerful. We go now onto lethal and equipment. We go with C4. C4 is good to take out those guys that are in the cave, that are just camping in the cave. It's good to just flush them out. Concussion grenades are good just to check where people are or to slow enemies down for you to kill. Now Recon Pro is there because concussion grenades, and those will help you identify where the enemies are, and it's also pro, so its bullet damage does help as well. Quick draw, so you can toss your C4, your concussion grenades, and aim down your sights even faster. Stalker is to help you survive from Claymores, Bettys, and IMS, because usually there's an IMS in that room and you will not survive unless you have Stalker on. I run the Specialist package with Assassin, Sleight of Hand, and Scavenger because ammo is pretty low with this weapon. So you're going to want it. The Death Streak doesn't matter. I usually run Juiced on most of my Death Streaks just because that's all I run. So let's get on to this video. So many of you know that the original spawn for Team Deathmatch and Kill Confirmed is along that area and the beach side. Now what I would do is, if you were to spawn here on the beach side, which I think I've already showed you guys on the live video of me raging, was to just come around here behind this boat. You get cover up there, the enemy can't see you through these bushes. You can go up here, and if you look closely onto this area right here, you can see the enemy clearly if they're coming down through, so you can just check, take them down. But I don't think I'm gonna refresh your memories on that just because you guys can just watch the video. So I'm just going to show you guys some cool places to go and cool C4 spots that I like. Now many of you know you guys can just toss a Simtex or something in there. What I like to do is, if there's enemies in there and I don't really know where they are, but I know that they're in there, I'll toss a stun in here, and I'll come up top under this rail and just toss this up there. And if I did that correctly, that should land, yep, right in the middle, able to take down the man there, and anyone camping along there. Those people back there will probably survive, but usually when people camp in there, they always have one man out here, just as the sacrifice. So you'll be able to take out the sacrifice without the enemy knowing where you are. So it's a pretty good spot. So now let's move on to the next one. So let me change my class. Oh, I killed myself. So the UMP45 custom, I like to run suppressor and extended mags just because this weapon is a beast. There was an update that came out about 2 days ago, I think, or maybe just yesterday, and then they said that the weapon had gotten more powerful and the M16 had gotten more powerful and all stuff like that, but I don't think they did at all, actually. I think those guys are just pulling your leg. One of my friends actually told me, he's tested it out and stuff. I've tested it out for myself, but me and my friend, we just, we can see that, they're just dishing this out just to, get people to use those weapons more, to make it seem as though, hey, it's a more powerful weapon than it was before. But I don't believe it for 1 sec. So yeah, so let's but I still use the UMP because it is a boss weapon. So let's move on to a good jump spot. Now for this spot, you're going to need a maximum mobility to do this. I've tried this with an LMG, I've tried this with a sniper rifle, I've tried this with assault rifles and shotguns. Now shotguns work sometimes, but if you have the Spaz 12 and the KSG, it doesn't work because your mobility is actually slightly less when you're holding those 2 pump action shotguns. Now I could be wrong and I could just be missing up on those jumps, but let's move on to the jump spot. So the enemy is camping in the room in the cave, and you want to be able to get up there. Well, if you can secretly, and you spawn over here, if you can just get up to this point, make sure that no one is up there. But if you know all three of the enemy are in there, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to stop at this rest point, and you're gonna want to run and jump. Just keep running and jump when you get here, and jump onto this rock right there. You're gonna want to jump there because there's an invisible ledge. So let's hope I don't get this wrong. Whoops, that was terrible. Let me do this again. And there we go, look at that. I'm above the ground, I'm not on the ground, I'm above here, standing from the ground. You would not be able to see that. And you can look inside, you can walk along the side, jump in, and take out the enemy. Now, I have a pistol out, which probably wouldn't be a good thing to have out when you're coming in, so you probably want to just come out and just spray for days in there. Or, if you just want, you can throw a C4. But it's a good way to get in there, because usually there's a trophy system, and those trophy systems will, you know, mess up your C4. Or if they have a scrambler, you know, it messes up your C4 and your claymores and whatnot. So, it's very hard to actually, it's not that hard to get people out of here, but it is a clever spot to use if you want to take someone down. Or if it's team defender, you know, it's a lot easier. Now let's move on to my equipment. I'm using Simtex because Simtex is, well, one of my favorite equipments, but I'm going to show you cool portable radar spots that the enemy will not be able to notice if they're not running sitrep. And if they are running sitrep, I can show you even better spots. So I'm going to show you the spots where people that aren't running sitrep normally won't be able to see it. Now the first one I like to show is on this thing. Yeah, it looks pretty noticeable, you know, from your point of view, because you know where it is. But when people are sniping and whatnot, they're not going to know that's there. And if you actually can crouch your head near it, you can use it as a I guess a sacrifice. You could sacrifice your port radar, because you wouldn't want to put a claymore or a C4 or a Betty there, because those would blow up and kill you. While this thing, it could take the hit for you, and you'll know that, oh hey, it's been destroyed, so I should probably move. And the enemy will be confused because they get like a hit marker on your head, but really it's just the port radar. So that's a good spot. Another spot, which is, I'm not going to throw it in there, but is in here. You can throw your C4, or not C4, your portable radar, and if you look through this thing, you can see that it'll be down in that little area, and you can't shoot through this. Like, even though the glass is breaking and all, you can't shoot through it. It's not going to be destroyed. The enemy is not going to be able to destroy it unless they throw their C4 in or anything in there. But I highly doubt the enemy is going to waste some equipment just to destroy your portable radar. Another spot is down here below the steps. If you can dish it out correctly, you can actually get it to go in between the steps. It's only these two steps and those two steps that work, or these three, this one, and this one. Those three that it can actually go through. I've gotten it to go through here sometimes, but it's really rare for it to get through. So let's move on to another spot. Another good spot for portable radar is right here in this bush or little grass area. It's kind of hard, you know, really hard to see it. If you can actually get it even better placed, you know, the enemy isn't going to be like, oh hey, look at that, let's look at this bush, you know. But it's a good spot. Now let's move on to camping in here. Now there's a lot of places you can put the port radar. I like to put it in this bowl right here because it looks delicious. But I like to just put it in there just because it's cool and all. I don't know. But you can put it practically anywhere in this room. For the enemy that's hard to find, you can put it in this bowl, which I just feel that. Put it in there, you know. And I suggest putting it in a place where the enemy can shoot it, but they can't see you, so that you can see it. Like, if I'm laying down right here, I can see my port radar. They can barely see me. If they shoot through it, I know they're there. So it's a good way as a decoy as well. But let's move on to people that are running SitRep Pro. Now for this map, unfortunately, there's only 4 spots where people with SitRep Pro cannot shoot this, but everywhere else they can. The first spot is in the orange cylinder up there. That is, just note that you will not be able to pick up the port radar after throwing it in this area. There are spots where you can throw it where it can land for you to pick it up, but it's very rare to get it. Sorry about that. Another spot is in the cabin below. If you move on to the side where there's a broken area that's out over here. Let me get you guys over there. You can throw your port radar in there, but you will not be able to get it back unless you dish it out onto this. But the enemy could shoot it. So if you throw it all the way down there, the enemy would not be able to get it. Now another spot is down here. You could dish out your portable radar down here, but it gets a bit glitchy and the port radar will be in a forever bounce mode where it will just keep bouncing like that, back and forth between the two walls. They'll just keep bouncing back and forth and it will never land, and it won't give you that proximity of the portable radar. So you have to be careful when dishing it out in here. The enemy can shoot it of SITREP Pro people, but people that have SITREP Pro are not going to be coming up here exposing themselves just to shoot your port radar, so it's a good place to put it. Another spot is, they can shoot it as well, but not many enemy are going to come around and just shoot it, is in this area right here. You can just dish it out. This will be the only place where I show you, but you can dish it out in there, and there's the port radar. They can shoot it like I said, but they're not going to waste their time coming up to shoot that and expose the weapon if it's unsuppressed. So just be aware of that. So that's pretty much that. There's not many other jump spots I can give you guys. Many of you may already know this spot for infected. There's not really many other places to get lines of sight just because everyone knows them. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will be giving you guys another tactics video on Lookout and what was the other map? Getaway. Those two other face-off maps, and I will be doing the other multiplayer maps I got. I do not have Vortex, Intersection, or U-Turn because I'm not with Call of Duty Elite, so you guys will probably have to wait for that a bit longer. But I hope you guys enjoyed this tactic video on where to go to put weapons, items, and cool jump spots. I hope you guys enjoyed, and well, that's it for this video. I'm Herperderp, and I'm out.